welcome to another episode of WNBA Digest. I'm your host, Jillian. Let's get into it. We just finished week 6 in the WNBA, and per usual, it wasn't a quiet one. The week started off and immediately we had a bunch of higher-seeded teams getting upset by lower-seeded teams on Tuesday. The Dallas Wings beat the Atlanta Dream, the Washington Mystics beat the Minnesota Lynx, and the Indiana Fever beat the Seattle Storm, proving that it doesn't matter what you're ranked and how good you are. On any given night in the W, you can be beat.
Very impressive victory over a red-hot Storm team.
So quick update on the Commissioner Cup. It's going to be Indiana Fever versus the Minnesota Lynx in Minnesota at 8 p.m. Eastern on July 1st, the day this episode airs. Minnesota Lynx are the defending champs of the Commissioner's Cup, and Afisa Collier was the 2024 Commissioner's Cup MVP. So let's see if they make a repeat and Fee also gets another award, or if Indiana bests them and they pull an upset and they win. Now, it wouldn't be the WNBA without a little bit of drama, so let's talk about DeWanna Bonner, whose name I love. I love being like DeWanna. Okay, before we get into what's going on, I want to give a little recap of who DeWanna is, because some of y'all seem to forgot how amazing she is. So who is DeWanna Bonner? DeWanna Bonner has played 16 seasons in the WNBA. She was drafted to the Phoenix Mercury, and she spent her first 10 seasons there, and then she spent her last 5 seasons with the Connecticut Sun. She is a 6-time All-Star, and she's a 2-time champion with the Phoenix Mercury. During her time with the Connecticut Sun, they would be contenders and compete for a championship. Last season, after falling short again, it was clear that the Connecticut Sun were headed for a rebuild, and all 5 of their starters would move on from Connecticut, whether it was through trade or free agency. Now, DeWanna Bonner is engaged to Alyssa Thomas, who was her teammate on the Connecticut Sun. That's where they met, and that's where they started dating. Last offseason, Alyssa Thomas would be one of those starters that left, and she signed it with the Phoenix Mercury in free agency. And there was a lot of speculation that DeWanna Bonner would too. As we said, she had started her season in Phoenix. She had won 2 championships there. So it seemed pretty obvious that she would end up in Phoenix as well. But last offseason, DeWanna Bonner would go on to sign a 1-year contract with the Indiana Fever, which was pretty shocking to a lot of people. A lot of fans, me included, were confused by this. If you don't know, last season, there was a lot of disrespect, a lot of hatred, a lot of bigotry, and a lot of racism that the Connecticut Sun team faced whenever they played Indiana.
It's been a lot of nonsense in my 11-year career. I've never experienced the racial comments from the Indiana Fever fan base. It's unacceptable, honestly. I've never been called the things that I've been called on social media, and there's no place for it.
So you could imagine fans were confused. Why would you sign with this team when you and your fiance had experienced a lot of issues when you played against them?
There's no time for it anymore. Now,
obviously, the WNBA is a business. Sometimes it's about what people are offering you, how you fit on a team. And DeWanna Bonner did take to Twitter to talk to fans, and she said, listen, there's a lot of stuff going on in our lives. Part of the reason that I went there was to be closer to my children. She has twins that she shares with former teammate and wife, Candace Dupree. In the offseason, the Indiana Fever did sign Stephanie White to be their new coach. And Stephanie White had been previously coaching on the Connecticut Sun. So DeWanna Bonner essentially would be going to a new team with her old coach that she had just been playing with. So it started to make sense why maybe she would go to this team. She would be bringing the Indiana Fever some championship experience and some vet experience.
You were a high wanted free agent. Why Indiana?
I feel like that's the piece they needed. I feel like I fit well just on the court, off the court. I talked to Caitlin, AB, and Kels, and they just made me feel like they really needed me here.
The season started out all right, but on June 10th, DeWanna Bonner would miss a series of games, and it was cited for personal reasons.
Even when it's like sitting out games, and now it's like parting ways, man, I don't know what's going on over there.
Then Tuesday, the 24th, it was announced that DeWanna Bonner and the Fever were looking to part ways. It was said that maybe they were looking for a trade, but after a trade didn't happen, the Fever would go on to waive her, and now that she's on the waiver wire, she can essentially be picked up by another team. Now, there was also reports saying that she only wanted to end up on the Phoenix Mercury or Atlanta Dream, and other teams shouldn't really necessarily contact her. There's also been rumors about why it happened. People have come out and said that she was upset about being benched, but I don't necessarily agree with that or know if that's true, because DeWanna Bonner is someone who has volunteered to come off the bench before, and she's a 3-time 6th Woman of the Year. So clearly she's had a success off the bench, and clearly that's probably not an issue for her. I'm sure there's other things going on that we just don't know about. So I'm not quick to drag her or say anything like that. And people have been criticizing her and calling her a quitter, and she did take to her Instagram to basically say, like, I'm not a quitter, there's a lot going on, and when it comes to the light, the apologies better be just as loud as the disrespect.
It had to be something.
Hell did.
It was something.
Something happened, bro.
Something had to happen, bro. DB ain't just not playing, bro. She been doing this too long.
A lot of
yes,
stuff, you
bro.
know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
Fan of DeWanna's, I don't know where she'll end up. The Phoenix Mercury, they don't need bigs. Atlanta, they don't need bigs. They all got bigs. You know who needs help? Asia Wilson. I think you could start immediately.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, that was crazy.
like,
Let's take a look at the standings. Now, we still have the Lynx on top, but as you can see, the Phoenix Mercury are creeping up. We have some movement. We got Seattle doing better, Atlanta Dream doing better. We got the Liberty not doing so good. And so I'm going to take a look at that loss column because as you can see, the fact that they don't have the same amount of losses is the only thing keeping them right there in third. And if they keep losing, also, we can take a look at that 4 through 9. We've had some movement. It feels like those seeds are changing every day. So it's kind of crazy. But we can also look at the bottom. We have the Dallas Wings and the Los Angeles Sparks that managed to get some wins this week. So they're starting to creep up in the win column. And on the opposite end, we got the Connecticut Sun on a 9-game lose streak. Wah, wah, wah. And finally, of course, one sentence about each team. Atlanta Dream. Every time I try to take y'all seriously, you do unserious stuff. Because why are you losing to the Dallas Wings? Good win over the Liberty, though. Chicago Sky. Good luck to Camila Cardozo at America. Let's try to win some games without her. Can we? Let's just try. Connecticut Sun. Marina out. Girl, it's time to work on them recipes and that rhythm.
We're gonna put some sauce in here. That's enough.
Dallas Wings. Light the reunion tower glow.
Light the reunion tower for the win.
Sure, if you like it, I love it. Golden State Valkyries. Is it too early to start the Natalie Nakase Coach of the Year campaign? Because I'd put money on it. Indiana Fever. Ari McDonald back. Las Vegas Aces. Let's get one thing straight. Y'all aren't playing well. Y'all aren't playing well. Happy Pride, though. Los Angeles Sparks. Thank God for that Candace Parker jersey retirement. Because what else is there to look forward to? A moment for my goat. New York Liberty. Y'all good over there? Because y'all ain't looking like defending champs. Phoenix Mercury. Mighty Merc. Never mind, y'all lost to the Aces. That was a fun little win streak, though. Seattle Storm. They playing on y'all names, but we gonna make sure y'all some all-stars because y'all deserve it. Minnesota Lynx. MVP back. Y'all have one job on July 1st, and I need y'all to do it. Washington Mystic. Kicking ass, taking names, losing teeth. Oh, speaking of girl. And that has been another episode of WNBA Digest. Thank you all so much for enjoying episode 6. We'll be back next week. Oh, where is DeWanna Bonner going? Oh, where will she be?